nobody has no idea who took her, where it is. Somehow there was a camera, the Ring camera was busted out, or actually one in the front and one in the back camera was busted out. There was blood on the ground, but it only trailed like a few steps. And then they don't know if she got away in a getaway car. They think there was a getaway car. They think that it was more than one accomplice. Now we have a video of a guy in a whole ski mask. He had a flashlight in his mouth. They arrested somebody yesterday thinking that it was the guy, or at least they had a connection to it. The guy completely, as you guys see right here, is like, I don't know anything. I don't even know who's a Nancy. And even the mother-in-law was all like, who's a Nancy? Who are you guys talking about? So before I give you my full analysis, let me just go over the timeline. So it says Saturday, January 31st at 5:32 p.m., Nancy Guthrie takes a Uber to her family's home for dinner. At 9:48 p.m., Guthrie is dropped off at her Tucson, Arizona home by a family member. The garage door opens and closes a minute later. So she went through the garage, right? Not the front door, the garage. Sunday, February 1st, the doorbell camera is disconnected. At 2:12 a.m., the camera software detects movement. Investigators initially said there was no video available since Guthrie didn't have an active subscription to the company, but digital forensic experts kept working to find images in the back-end software that might have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible. So what's interesting about that is basically what they're saying, like, even though she didn't pay her subscription for the Ring or whatever the security software was, there's a way that they can still get access to it and try to somebody like that should definitely have active security. I wonder, when did her security service end? And why would they let it end? Keep that in the back of your mind, y'all. All right, let me go down the timeline still. At 2:28, her pacemaker app disconnects from her phone. Now, something that I don't know, anybody with a pacemaker out there, does pacemakers have a tracking device on them? Is that why they disconnected it from her phone? Oh, she never had a paid subscription. So she just had a camera and Yeah, I'm trying to figure out about the pacemaker. Do pacemakers have a tracking device? Is that why they disconnected it from the phone? That's interesting. But again, I'm assuming that they would be able to locate her if the pacemaker app was on. So I'm figuring that's probably the reason why they did that. Okay, 11:56 a.m. This is still on the 1st. Her family checks on her after learning she did not attend church. At 12:03 p.m., the family calls 911 to report a missing person. At 12:15 p.m., investigators arrive and launch a search operation, including the use of drones and search dogs. At 6:46 p.m., the Pima County Sheriff's Department posts on social media to announce Guthrie's disappearance. Now we're on Monday, you guys. Authorities announced in the morning on February 2nd, authorities announced in the morning that they believe Guthrie was kidnapped, abducted, or otherwise taken against her will. The TV station says it received an email Monday night that appears to be a ransom note. The note includes a demand for money with a deadline set for 5 p.m. Thursday and a second one for Monday, investigators said. Savannah Guthrie posts a message on Instagram on Monday night asking for people's prayers. Now, I don't know if you guys had seen that video, but it was just something so awkward about the whole situation with that video. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. One moment. And please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff while we wait for me to pull it up. Okay, this is the original video. Stop this real quick.
For our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast.
I'm going to say something. The reading off the paper throws me off. Like, I just feel like it needed to come from the heart. And I don't know, y'all. It just, the way the brother, the sister, and Savannah herself look, I'm just all like, something's off to me.
To joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact. This is Cameron.
Here's another one.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now, here's my thing about the will pay or whatever. How do you know they're legit? Like, because, okay, so they sent the ransom letters to the local news stations, and they also sent them to TMZ. As soon as Harvey Levin got on there talking about this and that, I was like, oh, suspicious. I'm sorry, for me, anytime TMZ is involved, and especially something so serious, I'm like, I ain't saying Harvey had anything to do with it, but I'm suspicious that they went to TMZ. I'm very suspicious of that. And anytime there's a ransom note, they keep sending it to TMZ. And then on top of that, how do we know that it's actually legit? Like, these are people, because remember, they arrested a man who they believed, and maybe this is on the timeline. Let me see. They had arrested someone faking to be doing these ransom letters. Let me see. Does it mention here? No, it doesn't mention in the timeline about there was a guy who was arrested. But you guys did hear about that. They did not the one that we're going to talk about today, but they arrested another guy who was putting out these ransom notes, and they found out to be fake, and he had no connection to the actual case. So again, very suspicious about that.
We received your message. Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock, trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help.
I'll say this. Someone knew the layout of the home. Someone knew what time she would be home. Also, she's by herself. The cameras don't work, or she never had a subscription to any kind of software, security system. There's a lot of red flags in here. Again, do I think that all of them are in on it? No, it could possibly be this too. And I don't know if you guys know, what if, because the dad is gone, he died, right? I don't know how long ago he died, but the dad passed away, unfortunately, right? What if she found a new love and maybe she just didn't want to tell her children, and so she plotted this? I know this sounds extensive, you guys, but she plotted this to run away with her new man or something like that. It could be a situation like that too. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Because again, who is Savannah Guthrie to where you want to kidnap her mom? That just really seems so random. It really seems random. An 84-year-old woman. And I don't know how much money Savannah Guthrie has, but it seemed like you would try to take somebody with a lot more money than that. And also on top of this, I know they have been drawing the connection to, she was the first journalist to interview the Epstein victims and stuff like that. I don't know if it's someone connected to Epstein or not. I don't know. And I honestly don't think that would be, I feel like they would have been taking her if that was the case. They would have been took the mom if it had anything to do with Epstein or anything like that. I don't think they would just do it all of a sudden. Now, it does kind of tie into that they release, and trust me, it's not the whole files. They released another 3 million emails of the Epstein files, and then she went missing. Very suspicious. I know there was also something out there about, I believe, 6 million in Bitcoin. She hound 6 billion in Bitcoin. There was another conversation about how Savannah did, like, she went to her hometown and they were eating at a restaurant, and they feel like Today's Show had put that publicly, and so because of that, it kind of told people like her mom's in this town, so maybe people were trying to scope out and find her and stuff like that. That doesn't make any sense to me because over time, Savannah has shown her mom on the Today Show. So again, they would have been taking her if that had something to do with it, right? Also, they said that the brother-in-law, Savannah's sister, her husband was a former Clinton advisor, or no, press secretary, worked for the Clintons, right? And they're saying that the Clintons had something to do with her being snatched, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. But again, my thing and what I will stand on is that it just sounds so suspicious, and it just sounds like there's something missing in this whole story. One of the things that is interesting is that they finally released these photos of the guy, right? And so they started saying that this was a person believed to be connected to he wasn't the actual guy, but he was believed to be connected. And as I told you guys, the mother-in-law was all like, no, this is not my son-in-law. And then they ended up releasing Carlos, who's the man that they had detained. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. Hold on.
Shooting, how would you describe what happened to you?
Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being like, I felt like I was being kidnapped, bro, because they didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
And investigators showed up to this house, or were you the one who was pulled over in the traffic stop?
I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop.
Where was that?
Right here on by Chubasco.
Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point?
Yeah.
And you were
I was being detained.
Detained, okay.
I was detained the whole time.
Okay,
That's
where?
what they told me.
Where were they
At
holding
the
you?
back of a car.
Back of
a
a car.
Miranda car, and then they moved me into a Pima County sheriff.
Were you being questioned in the car?
At the Miranda car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
My whereabouts.
Okay.
Where did I work? Where was I? And all that. But
Are you ever up in Tucson?
yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know. Might have been a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may have, did they indicate that you might have been on her property? You're not sure.
Nah, they just came up. They until right now, all I know is that they show my in-law a picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right. Okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
Okay. Jeez. How do you think they connected that case to
I'll
you?
go ask them, bro.
Okay. So
That's something you gotta ask them. I can't answer that question.
did they take anything from your house tonight?
Nah, I don't know.
You know what the funny part is? Anybody in a scheme that could be anyone. You know what I mean? He has a right. He's right about that. Like that could literally be anyone. It's not like there was anything like a tattoo that would, all we know is that it's a guy with a mustache. He had a flashlight in his mouth, so we couldn't see his teeth. But then, you see eyebrows and the eyes. Well, it's not in color. So how do you really know? You know what I mean? It's not in color at all. Hold on. I'm sorry. I took down the video by accident. I was trying to pull up a picture. Hold on.
Check your phone. You don't have your phone right now.
You heard there just a part of those comments from the man who says that they were detained by police and questioned in the case of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Nancy.
Let me pull up a picture here. Okay, here we go, you guys. And I see a lot of you guys. I see, shout out to Shawnee. She said, they're putting it on the brown man. And, and that's kind of like my thing too. Like, how do they know, the race of the person? But this is the image that they have, you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me blow it up and make it bigger. This is the image that they have. And somehow we're supposed to make out like Carlos was the guy. How do they know that? They said they showed a picture to a family member, and as you heard them say, showed a picture to a family member, and they were able to make out that it kind of looked like him. I have no clue who this is. And again, I don't even think you could put a race or a color to it. I would assume that he's not black, but it could be a light-skinned black dude. Like you don't know. Oh Lord, I don't want to put it on our people, but they, you really don't know. Everything is kind of generic about the way this person looks. His family, yeah. Now, anybody who will snitch you out like that, sweet tea, yeah, they definitely don't like you. And then, according to Carlos, the guy who was wrongfully detained, he's saying like, they didn't say necessarily I dropped off a package or anything like that. They really didn't give him no information. Yeah. How can they trust the ransom notes? Don't put this on our people. No, I'm just saying you don't know who the guy is. We honestly don't know. Hey, Miss ATL Stan, how you doing? What's up, Bama girl? Like, how do you know for a fact that you can make out that this was the Carlos guy? You can literally say this is anybody right here. I can say that this is Queen B More. What if this is not even a man? What if this is a woman? Like, you really don't know. Now we're assuming that it's a man because the man had a mustache, and Queen B More is a whole woman and she ain't got a mustache. But I mean, you know, if you're coming to try to take somebody, you're not going to try to look like yourself. You're going to try to come in disguise, right? Right, and that's the other thing. We have somebody incompetent over the FBI, Cash Patel. This could be anybody. Like we really don't know how they were able to make out that this was the Carlos dude. Because also what I was thinking too, you guys, does this person have colored eyes? How do they know this person has brown eyes? Like they know for a fact that this person has brown eyes. How do you know if it's not in color? Clorinda, that's what it sounded like to me. Miranda writes they didn't ask him. I didn't even know that, Miss ATL and Stan. I feel like the ransom notes are fake and a distraction. Tracy, that's how I'm feeling too. I feel like it's a distraction. This definitely does not make any sense to me. So again, we have, it's because she interviewed the Epstein victims. Then we have her brother used to work for the Clintons. My assumption, she probably ran off with her dude. Or, they're somebody, a bad business deal or something like that went down, and they're like, you know what, we're going to take your mom. somebody is not being fully truthful about everything that has gone on. Again, because you would think if they had an issue with Savannah, wouldn't they just take Savannah? Not saying that I'm not trying to put that out there like we want anything to happen, but again, something's not clean in the milk, you guys. It's not. And I feel like we're not getting the full scope and we're not getting direct answers. Because again, Savannah was willing to pay the ransom, right? Give them the 6 million in Bitcoin. What happened with that deal? Like, did the perpetrator say, no, that's not good enough? Like, again, it does seem like these notes are fake. And someone like Nancy who has to take medication and she has a pacemaker, right? I would think that, can she last without her medication and stuff? You know what I mean? Can she last that long without her stuff? I don't want to put it out in the on the ninja net that, you know, she's not on this earth. You know, I don't want to start that rumor, but what I'm trying to do is have a real conversation with you guys about, like, could she have last that long without proper medical attention, you know? Mad Church, these white people look like and act weird. I am sorry, there is a sunken not a sunken, oh Lord. She has very, oh yeah, she walks with a cane too. She has very limited mobility. Can they GPS? Well, they can. So what happened was that they connected the app. They connected the app to her pacemaker. And I had asked the question, like, does it have a tracking? But they probably could figure out where she was if it was still connected. So that makes sense. Why they did that, even though that's, I don't know how they're supposed to get any. Listen, if they don't keep this lady alive, how do they expect to get anything? Those ransom letters are a red herring. Yeah. Yeah, they connected to the pacemaker. I doubt it. Sorry to say that. You're just being honest, Bama girl. You're just being honest. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, I ain't nothing, but I'm still gonna lock my doors and window. Yeah. And we don't actually know. We know that they busted out the camera, but we don't know if they kicked down the door or she willingly opened the door. Like, we still don't know that. Because from what I understand, it wasn't confirmed that they kicked down the door, right? We didn't get that confirmation, like they came in, kicked down the door, and you know, we didn't get any confirmation of that. So it's still a little leery of like, I don't know. Yeah, because the pacemaker sends a signal, and I think it. Okay, yeah, they would have got alerted then. Yeah, I think those ransom notes were really fake. I just don't. Because they also said the accounts had nothing in them. So they're just random accounts. And I don't really know how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency works. I mean, it's made the president a lot of money, so that's something to think about. But again, I think this entire thing is a sham. Let me ask you guys, let me go ahead and put it out there. That lady has workers. They're probably involved. They did say she has a housekeeper. And I'm pretty sure they asked the housekeeper, like, hey, do you know what's going on? Let me ask you guys. Let's do a 30-second countdown real quick. Do you guys, let me ask it in a way that's respectful. Do you guys think that this situation is, put a 1 in the chat, you think it's suspicious? Put it 2 in the chat. You believe that, you know, Nancy was taken against her will. Put a 3 in the chat. You need more evidence. So 1, something is suspicious. 2, you believe she was taken against her will. 3, you need more evidence. Yeah, something ain't right. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get the heck up out of here, but I appreciate y'all for being here. And again, I'm just giving my opinion. This is why we have a comment section where you guys can leave your opinion. Or hell, you can start your own channel. Let me know. And let me know if you guys would like a follow-up on this story too as well. Hit that notification bell and make sure you press all to get all my notifications. I appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button. And don't forget also too, we have the meetup in April. I can't wait to see you guys. Make sure you guys are there April 10th through the 12th in Las Vegas. I'll see you guys soon. Love y'all. We out.